Someone called me last night and told me a very strange story about what happened to her back in the 90s at an evangelical university. But first, we have to revisit Brian Harpole's story about how far in advance they typically plan security, because someone has leaked to me another glaring oddity in this security protocol. Let's jump right back in. Welcome back to Candace. Do you know what I think? I think that whoever made the decision for Brian Harpole to sit down with Sean Ryan made a terrible mistake. Big PR mistake, PR nightmare. That's kind of been the story here. One long, bad PR decision after the next, because the issue is Brian said too much. The internet is meticulous. The internet is clocking them every sentence. It's really easy to catch people in inconsistencies and then to keep replaying what they said about certain things, especially when they don't add up. So I would like to gently remind you all back at home what Brian Harpole said about what typical preparations entail for Charlie Kirk events. Take a listen.
Let's move into the threat assessment and the pre-planning for the event.
Absolutely.
How many days prior were you guys there?
We generally, the permitting process and all that goes on behind the scenes. And then there's questionnaires that are filled out that there was a lot of busy work. And then so, kind of like in the military, what you did, we create forms that, hey, let's get this information up front. Mm-hmm. And so that we have a duplication process so that we can confirm it. And so we started our first, before that one, the 24th of the month prior. And so, and that was with the hard conversations, meetings.
You started that on the 24th?
Mm-hmm. Right. And we
That's
do
2 weeks.
At
really?
least. No, well, it started before that with the intelligence gathering and all that. But the hard conversations, the sharing of information, the conference calls, the data sheets, and we put that in a timeline on an app, so that this all goes up, and every guy that's on that job can see all the intel that comes in. It's a decentralized command model for the company, and so anybody can make command decisions for the betterment of the client or the team, and so everything goes on that app. And so when I get it, they get it. And when whoever's gathering that intel, it gets it. There's no hold, there's no power hold on it. And so that first information came in on the 24th, and then the information share starts, where we're walking through, everything that you need for a detail.
Everything that you need for a detail. Obviously, elsewhere in the interview, he describes this conversation that he had with the chief of police. He's upset about the chief of police not covering the rooftops because he feels that his team was on it. So on it. You're coordinating with whole police departments. You're discussing drones. Drones were not allowed. And so they just had to let that go. Well, interestingly enough, I received a tip from someone that was directly involved with the planning of an event that Charlie Kirk was supposed to attend the following day, on September 11th, the day after his assassination. Charlie was slated to speak in Woodland Park, Colorado, at the Charis Bible College. Okay, so that's in Woodland Park, Colorado. He was slated to speak there. And according to this person, after Charlie got assassinated, there was a bit of a panicked meeting that took place, which was headed by the chief of police. They decided to transform this event into a vigil, and they were panicked because, believe it or not, they had absolutely no security plan in place. They thought, how odd. We don't have a security plan in place. Now we better consider this, and we need to make sure that we have police officer involvement. Why didn't Dan Flood and Brian Harpole and Turning Point USA's security have any coordination with the police departments up in Colorado?